Hi there, let's take a look at completing step number 6 in the Chapter 10 problem solver. So step 6 is here on the screen. Using Solver, minimize the payroll per week in cell D21 for the resort by changing the values in cells D6 through D12. So let's start the solver with that and then we'll continue on. So here I have opened my the workbook that we should be working in. I'm on this schedule sheet and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select D6 through D12 to be active on that, and then when I start the solver it'll grab it. So I'm selecting D6 through D12 from the data tab. I've already installed the solver add-on, so I'm going to click the solver. And oh, it didn't grab it anyway. All right, so set the objective in cell D21. So I'm going to click on cell D21. We're going to try to minimize that, right? It's telling us to minimize cell D21 by changing the cells. Here it says by changing the values in cell D6 through D12. So those are the ones we want to change. All right, let's read on a little bit further. We're going to set up two constraints. The first constraint is that the number of employee work days found in F14 through L14 must be greater than or equal to F16 through L16. So let's set that first constraint. Actually, I'm going to move this guy out of the way. All right, and then I'm going to click add. So what it's telling us is that F14 through L14 must be greater than or equal to F16 through L16. There we go. Now, if we look in the background, we have another constraint. Remember, it said we had two constraints. So the second one is the number of employees must be so on and so forth. So I have another constraint to add. So I'm going to click add. The second constraint is that D6 through D12 must be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy out of the way. D6 through D12 must be greater than or equal to 1. Now I don't have any more to add, so I can just click OK. That takes me back here to the solver window. Let's keep reading our instructions. It says solve this model using the simplex. So we're going to change our method. And then it says keep the solver solution. That's on the next step. So I'm going to click solve. Here in this window, by default, it does say keep the solver solution. In our instructions, it says no report is needed. So on the right-hand side, don't select a report. You don't need one. You can just go ahead and click OK. Now, in the hint, oh, you won't get that window. That's for me because I'm off campus, so ignore that one. In the, I'm going to slide this over a little bit. In the Blackboard site, it tells us that you'll know you'll have done it right when the payroll per week answer becomes 10,400. I should have pointed it out before we started, but it wasn't that. It was 12,000, I think, or something like that. So you'll know it's applied correctly when that becomes your answer. If you have any trouble at all, just email me.